Hello and welcome to another audio analysis. In today's video we're taking a look at the track The Purge by the American metal band In This Moment. This is the second track to be released from their upcoming 8th studio album in the form of GODMODE, which does release on October 27th and does serve as the follow-up to 2020's Mother. This does serve as the follow-up to I Would Die For You, which was actually the first single released from the album and was included in Chapter 4 of the John Wick series on the soundtrack for that, and is also going to be serving as the closer for the album, which really will fit in very well with its much softer tones. This song, however, is going to see a focus on the ideas of balance and not diving too far down the rabbit hole. It was certainly inspired by the global pandemic, which really helped to bring it to life, really highlighting a lot of the emotions that Maria Brink was feeling, and they were able to concoct it over that time. And because of that, we're really going to see it focus from this perspective of societal destruction almost, with the title of The Purge. So will this track be a survivor or simply fall into the chaos? Let's take a look at exactly how it sounds.
Pushing like pudding, like butter, like gold. You wanna get the cash, you wanna get the fool. You wanna find the fake, you wanna be seen. You wanna blame an addict, but you're already a fiend. Fuck it, the whole world is gonna see. High off fumes, addicted to the fight. What's it all for? Like you don't really know. Another on the hook, another right now. You're pushing back and back again. And they say that you were free, now you're locked in a cage. Like your life is on the line. You want a reason why, now you're begging for a sign.
So already with this first part of the track, I love how we get this very twisted, sinister, very dark and deep sounding vocal coming in from Maria, really just highlighting this idea of almost evil really coming through with these very sharp sounds as well. Contrasts really well with the visuals as well, with this almost kind of being of kind of angelic presence. You can really see that with the idea of the light kind of forming the wings, this character that's effectively died, the death of good almost as it stands. And we're seeing this song really focusing on the rise almost of evil. You want to get the cash, you want to get the fool, you want to find a fake, you want to be seen. So you want to almost become this angelic presence, you want to become this god, but you're actually becoming the devil. And I love how we've got that last lyric in the first verse. You want to blame an addict, but you're already a fiend. We associate fiends with demons, devils, so you've become this demonic presence almost in your search to become almost this deity. So I like, again, straight away, this track really shows that idea of balance, that devils and angels, that god and demons, things like that. You can really see that being brought in from this track already. And then we go into the pre-chorus, which again is this idea of the world is going to eventually see what it's actually become, addicted to the feed, really just kind of consuming others to get what you want, and you just become another Jane Doe. It's this person that almost doesn't have an identity of their own because you're just on the hook. You're pushing back and forth and back again. Again, contrasting words that really show this idea of balance. You're pushing lies like your life is online. This idea of pushing out lies to climb your way to the top, to scale to the top, no matter what it takes. You want a reason why, now you're begging for a sign, which is typically this idea of almost holy. You're begging for a sign from God. So you've done all these evil things, then wondering why everything isn't actually working out. So every lyric really is constructed around this idea of almost devils, demons and angels, or devils and angels.
Maybe we're all fucked. Maybe we're all burned. Maybe we're all just purged. Yeah. Maybe we'll all die. Maybe you were right. Maybe we're all just parasites. You're cutting like glass, like needles, like knives. You wanna get the girl, you wanna win the fight. You wanna be a god, you wanna be a star. You wanna blame another, and this time you went too far. Fuck it, the whole world's gone mad. Hot off smoke, addicted to the fire. Why am I here like I don't really know? Another in the bag and another gone now. You're pushing back and forth and back again. And they say that you were free, now you're locked in a car.
And I like how as we move into the chorus, we see almost this switch in narration, this switch in perspective, going to these softer tones, almost like the voice of reason. Maybe we're all burned, maybe we're all just purge, and maybe we'll all die. So this idea of this kind of conscience, this moral conscience, really just showing the idea of, yeah, we're kind of corrupt, where maybe we just need to be getting rid of, maybe we're all just parasites. So it's really showing that idea of reason. And purge can not just be, it can either be a quality in a person or it can be assigned to a group. So it can really have those different ideas. Maybe you need to purge yourself of kind of dark qualities, traits that you've got to kind of find that balance. Maybe you need to purge groups almost from the world to again maintain balance. So it certainly has that idea being brought in, and it's really interesting how they've got these heavy juxtapositions, certainly with a lot of the visuals they include, almost this idea of these zombified characters almost, and really just kind of tying that in with the ideas of angels. So you're really seeing the contrast being heavily brought in, not just through the music but also through the visuals. And it just feel like the angel and the demon on your shoulder, because we go into the, you're cutting like glass, like needles, like knives. So it's that darkness really whispering in your ear. You want to get the girl, you want to win the fight, you want to be a god, you want to be a star. So you can really see it highlighting this kind of claim to fame, this rise almost. You want to blame another, and this time you've gone too far. So eventually you get too close to the fire, you get burnt almost. In this climb to ascension, you kind of eventually hit this stumbling block and you fall back down, or you get so greedy that you make a mistake. And it's almost this idea of gluttony, the idea that you can try have so much greed that eventually it will backfire on you. And one thing I really love that we have from coming from the guitar work is these plunging guitar sounds, almost like you're descending into darkness. It's great how they've really included that, with the drums really being used to provide this strong element to kind of the backbone of the track, to really give it this powerful driving energy. But I just love the way that guitar's just this constant plunging sound, the use of the electronic elements as well, just scattered in the background, just to really add to these layers, to really kind of support Maria's voice in this almost twisted, dark, sadistic message that she's trying to really convey, this kind of balance between the bitter and the sweet almost, just really showing that through her vocal ability. And again, just everything in this song reflects the idea of balance, contrast, just a variety between two sides almost. And I really like in the bridge how we really saw this moment of this purge almost occurring, the fire really enveloping, really showing this again, this kind of transition between the light and the dark. And we can really see that reflected in the video as well, how she kind of enters in this white gown, in this white coffin, then emerging almost in the black as well. So really showing maybe the societal destruction that we did see from the pandemic. It's something they also wanted to reflect in this track. And I like how the idea of the purge kind of fits in with a lot of the religious elements that the band bring in. You could look at things like the 40 40 days and 40 nights of rain from Noah's story, the idea of purging the world almost to really restore balance and to find that again after there was too much darkness, too much kind of balance, kind of misguided balance featured within the world, and they kind of corrected that. So I kind of like how it's touching on a lot of these ideas, playing with these vocal styles, these plunging guitars to really add a strong elemental effect to really pull the track together with a very simple message that is reflected very cleverly through the lyrics about finding balance. It's certainly in the wordplay as well, the back and forth, the forth and back, really playing with these ideas that I really did like. And it's certainly not quite as kind of melodic as many of the tracks we have seen from them in the past. They're definitely going for this more storytelling idea with this actual upcoming album from GODMODE. We'll see the whole album do that, but certainly from the title it feels like it's going to touch on the idea of people kind of wanting to rise up, wanting too much, to kind of tackling that greed, feeling like they are gods. So it may play on that element again, tying in with the religious themes we do see from the band. But certainly a very impressive track to see from them, really playing with some new ideas, really exploring something that meant a lot to Maria, and she really wanted to bring her emotions across in this track, and I certainly feel she did it very well. So that will be everything for today's video, but as always, feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Do you think this album will prove to be stronger than Mother, which kind of had very mixed reviews? I would love to know your thoughts, and as always, if you'd like to see more content like this, then please do feel free to subscribe, and I will see you in the next Dojo analysis.